If you are a native of the Caribbean, West Indian region, how do you self-identify?
Now, this is such a complicated question with, I actually don't think, a real answer. Because the first thing is that there's so many quote-unquote races in the Caribbean that it's hard to say, well, this one group is going to identify as this or this other group is going to identify as this. And even I find it problematic at times. So I used to think when I was a teenager that, you know, what comes first is country, right? You know, Trinidad and Tobago first. So we'd say Trini white versus, you know, Caucasian Trinidadian, which I don't know if that's a thing, but you know, so you would be like, I'm a Trini Creole or a Tobago Creole or a Tobago white, wherever it is, it would always be country or island first, right? And I remember, you know, I had a friend that I met in the US, and I was telling her, I was like, you know, before I would even think to hang out, like if I went into a room and there were people from all over, there were Americans, you know, all over the world. If I saw a person who was Trini white, I would hang out with them first over everybody else, because the connection and the cultural connection and the understanding of country would be so much more powerful than race, right? And you know, they couldn't understand that. They were like, what? Like, how could you say that? That's crazy. But now that I'm older, and honestly, it becomes harder and harder to subscribe to the idea of race, right? Because race is really a human construct. I mean, it's not necessarily it may help us understand certain things. It may be a label that might help us understand certain things, but it has proven itself to be way more destructive and confusion inducing than clarity. And of course there are a lot of emotions that come with it as well. So I don't know. I mean, I would like to ask my audience, what do you start with? Like, do you lead with nationality? Do you lead with, you know, the fact that you're the region, you know, are you like, I'm Caribbean first? But even that is problematic because, well, this is not India, right? And we know Columbus made a huge gaffe when he got here, okay? So a lot of it is problematic. So race is problematic, and then of course the region is problematic, and you know, I don't know if I have an answer for this.